So I wanted to make another a daily heart work session. This will be my 11th session. It's about ending relationship abuse and a very heavy call to action. So, good morning, afternoon, or evening, listeners. I stand before you to address a very critical and deep personal issue: relationship abuse. This insidious problem manifests in various forms, and which include hacking, maligning, bribing, and psychological manipulation of your lives. It can infiltrate our lives in ways we never imagined possible, and when we get the proofs of what is possible, we don't know the depths of that darkness, and we just know that even if it's only 15% or whatever, it leaves these lasting scars on our minds and souls of what we know of these people and what we understand then of ourselves. So, the nature of abuse is this: that it's not limited to physical violence. It extends to psychological warfare, where perpetrators use technology, information, data they can collect, and manipulation to exert control over their victims' lives. This form of abuse can be incredibly damaging, often leaving the victim feeling isolated, paranoid, and having a sense of helplessness about them. The tactics of this abuse are various, but many of which I'll bring up with my own scenario, is the hacking and surveillance of me to gain unauthorized access to personal information, emails, social media accounts, and then also other areas of my life. And then also, like, including my house. And then number two, maligning and bribing that I believe were there to spread disinformation, misinformation, manipulate perceptions, manipulate situations, and using bribery to influence others against their perpetrated victim, claiming these things never happen. He's just out of his mind. He does not know what he's talking about. He's crazy. Blah, blah, blah. The rebuttal of a narcissist abuser. And then there's number three, the psychological manipulation, the constant using wordplay as if my life was just a fucking PlayStation, and an emotional manipulation to erode me, my self-esteem, my sense of reality, in which case it has. I can explain a scenario, but there's many where it's like I can't even act normal in normal situations with other people, and it's because of what I've experienced firsthand. And so my call to action in this is just, I hope that you guys do find it in your hearts to hopefully help me. I do have a formidable business plan of action about these things. And look, it was said by him, like, how are you going to stop cheating? I don't know, G, but I'm going to put layers out there, all while going through this kind of manipulative abuse. Yeah, G, I am going to stop this kind of harassment, maligning of my personal life and my personal data by design that I'm finding out about by you or anybody else for that matter. So it's important that we recognize the abuses that can happen in our lives. My personal story has just been constant illness, decay. I mean, all of this feeling is leaving me suspect to poisoning aimed at causing that kind of severe harm. where I would otherwise fall upon the floor, holding on to my life for dear life. I believe that it caused me to have a at least minor heart attack that I lived through. Um, and I constantly have to work, and I have no uh, my mental health, my physical health, all this stuff has been affected. The impact in this abuse, it's thrown me up against the wall, where that wall that they had planned to throw me up against in the first place was all knives out. All of them. Every single last one you could think of were out. And that's how bad it hurts. That's where it hurts. That's how bad it hurts. So when you're in that kind of profound pain and you're trying to actually write on these things to stop this kind of manipulative pattern in your life, or narcissistic abusive pattern in your life, you're out to stop it in a profound way, because you do not get to do that to somebody's value. Do you see what I'm saying? Because if victims of this kind of harm, where it places them into the situation of their own childhood abuse, it places them in such a fucked up way. No, you do not get to do that to a person's life. So victims often suffer from anxiety, depression, PTSD, and things that are made to look like severe schizophrenia and other forms of mental health related issues. The physical health, the stress and potential harm that it can lead to severe health issues, diabetes, heart disease, the poisoning. Where else can you imagine those things can actually take your actual physical health? These things that these people and the impacts of this abuse can kill you. And with it aimed at killing you, I often believed it often does kill these people in these situations. Or worse, gets them to actually kill themselves. Gets them into that kind of isolated way. And it does, because now I'm completely socially isolated, because I'm withdrawn from friends, from family, from feeling misunderstood, and from feeling unsupported by the world that's grown up around me that does not have it in them to support covering this kind of abuse. So recognizing covert abuse and being able to use discernment in times where you are being placed in such a way, you need to recognize these things. Covert abuse, such as narcissistic, sociopathic manipulation in particular, are harmful because they erode the victim's reality, making it unclear to see the truth or to escape from it, to find a way out of it, because the abusers can track, they can monitor the victims, they can create a sense of omnipresence whenever they want, and escapability, where you just can't get away. And even if you're far away, you still can't get away. Do you see what I'm saying? And so these people can go ahead and they can try and convert and cover up their actions that they first well took. But it's crucial to have a stronger support system within and of yourself, with the Lord, I believe, and hopefully with genuine people around you who are going to care about your well-being. A supportive partner and spouse is someone who understands that and stands by you, and that's going to make that kind of significant difference in your life. You're going to bring that smile to your face, and that smile isn't going to just fade in a heart's value that's telling you these things. Communication is key, and trust is necessary. Without trust, there is no love. So it's important to set clear boundaries and ensure your partner respects those boundaries. Because once those boundaries are being crossed, well, you can tell a person that you're like wanting to escape the relationship all you want. But if they're out to absolutely mutilate you, utilize your everything by design to push you under in that kind of way, look, you're going under. You're going down. And it's an inescapable feeling. You can't do anything about it because of all of the long-standing positions that they have been putting in place. And so it leaves you just completely messed over in your heart's value, where you otherwise who you would be, and it throws people into hypervigilance, hyperarousal. You're not yourself. Your body isn't able to function right because the body was able to function going out and dealing with normal problems in the world and being able to come back home and have that support system there, not like fighting off worse things. When you come home and you go to bed at night, you don't want to have to sleep with one eye open. You can't sleep with one eye open. So taking action is what is necessary. You have to document everything. You have to write down everything. You have to keep a record of all of the incidences of abuse, including as close to dates as you can, times, descriptions, all of the maligning, all of the areas you feel hacked, all of it. Write it all down. Second is to seek help. Therapy and counseling could provide essential support for coping strategies. Although with myself, I don't have time for that. I would love to go and talk to somebody, but for me to be able to do that, I need money to be able to support my life, because with where I'm trying to go in my life is a very formidable move, I would say, to like wholeheartedly stop this kind of abuse. So much so as I'm willing to step in front of the gunmen themselves. So legal action has to be considered. Restraining orders might want to be taken. Other legal action to protect yourself from that kind of harm. And it doesn't. And like, what are they gonna do? They're gonna try and cage up some more? It doesn't matter. Anyway, fourth is to build a support network, which is exactly what Heartwerk is in a nutshell. Is it would be a built support network for people not only experiencing the abuse, but people who are the abusers who would want to change their lives. And it's just it'd be a great way to connect with friends, family, and all the support groups out there already who understand these kind of situations. And it would also bridge a huge gap in the world where these changes need to be created. So together we can create a world where this abuse is not going to be tolerated anymore. Education and awareness are critical to these endeavors that we take up. But share your story. Get the support that is out there from others to help you advocate for stronger laws and protection against all forms of abuse, including this kind of abuse and long-standing of abuse that it is. In conclusion, ending relationship abuse is a complex and challenging journey. For me, it has been because of all of the complex things undertaken, but or taken up into my life, but we must personally undertake the kind of fervoritude or fervency in it, the importance in it, by recognizing the signs, supporting others out there, and taking decisive action that we can create a safer, much more compassionate world together. So remember that your life is valuable and you deserve to live it free from fear and from manipulation. So that's my message to you all, because your faith in all of these things that you leave with the Lord can only grow and become stronger no matter what you're going through. My faith has only grown. I mean, insurmountable in size. And even where they wanted to grind it up, they had no idea what they were grinding. I don't know, maybe they were just making many, many, many more seeds that they didn't understand they were making by grinding up the kind of faith that I have had before. And yeah, I was grounded up in my faith. It does make you lose faith a little bit. Faith in humanity, faith in the people around you, faith in your reality, faith in yourself, faith in much of anything. But through it all, you take all of that and you still pack it up in that box that I have been talking about before in my works, and you package it up and you send it off to God. All of those little dust particles of faith that they ground up spread through the whole world and plant seeds. That's kind of the seed of change that is upon us now in today's work. And it's not like light work. I mean, it is kind of like light work, but it's not. It's more about that prayer value and more about taking that real value to the Lord, that I believe the Lord is wholeheartedly calling each and every single one of you right now, today, and doing what I call a heart work. Repair and replenish the soil and renew the heart and mind that is you from when you were born. You were full of light, full of love, full of being a person that could never do these kinds of things to a person, and full of well, I feel like my whole life was stolen away from me. So full of vigor to be able to get that life that we sought out for from the beginning. Extremely important. Thanks for being here.